is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show. Your war room for insider news and draft analysis from deep within the confines of Cowboys headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Voch Lombardi, Nick Harris, Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarrish, and Kyle Youmans.
Today is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, and we are 65 days away from the NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome in to the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Glad you're with us. Ignore that logo in the back of the screen. Voch Lombardi, we've got Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarrish. I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you're with us. Of course, the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite, one and only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Because them people didn't give us money for
no, they
this
did.
show.
Not for this show.
They gave us money for the other show.
That's why, yeah, the other show. We love them too. This segment is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Wonderful. Never
Fantastic.
better.
Kicking it, man. I can't
Never
complain.
better.
Week away from the NFL Combine.
That's true. You fly out in a week. Bobby, you're going to be out there all week, right?
Yeah, I leave after the show Monday.
Wow.
I'll be here. But
Potcher's going to be chilling,
man,
hanging out.
You'll be physically here at the Star?
if y'all not here, then no.
Oh, okay.
If we do some type of thing where y'all remote and they need me here, then cool. But if not, I'm going to do some stuff at the crib, which is more than likely. Because what, y'all was going for the Senior Bowl or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody tap in with me and say, hey, Voch, just come through for no reason. You know what I mean? So, nah.
Oh, that's disappointing. We like having you.
But I am a fan of all of you gentlemen.
I still think you should make a trip out to Indy.
For what?
It would be worth it.
Huh?
I'm telling you, it's the most informational week of the draft process.
See, information.
Worth every bit of info.
Information is cool, but this is how I do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make some bread at the house because I'm going to cut the camera on.
Okay.
And then when Bobby Belt that I listen to every morning and Tommy Yarrish, I be following him on the social medias, and Kyle Young, when all y'all come with the information, I get to react on that show. So that's even new content. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where's our cut?
What you mean?
What was that?
You get paid by these folks. You got like health insurance by these people, don't you? Like you good. Black Rifle called for the last show, and Ford calls you and give you your money.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I got to grind for mine.
The next time I get a check from Ford, it will be the first one. But that's how it goes.
Call me when they do, man.
All right, gentlemen, 65 days away. Like Tommy just said, we are 1 week away from the NFL Combine. There are some scenarios we've already talked about on this show a couple times, and Bobby brought this to our attention in the group chat, so I want to give him credit for this idea. But there's different ways that between now and the actual NFL draft over these next 65 days that our vision, our look, our needs, the team's needs for the NFL draft are going to shift and change because of free agency, because of trade possibilities, because of prospects either moving and shaking in the NFL draft. There are a lot of different things that can happen that will change our draft philosophy until we all sit down here collectively on night one of the draft and say, here's what we're looking at. And that's where a lot of those scenarios could play out. We've got 4 scenarios here, and Bobby's the one that outlined these. I want to put these in order from what I think is most likely to happen to what is least likely to happen is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to start things off, and I'm going to say signing a blue chip defensive end
Is most likely
to happen. Go and let's spend a little money.
Okay.
Go get yourself a badass defensive end.
Okay.
How does that change
No
the
names.
way that you? Yeah, no names yet. Or almost there.
Oh, well, maybe one guy who got
like another
yesterday.
week. Yeah, we could talk about
We
that.
could mention his name, maybe.
Yeah.
But not the disgruntled cat on the West Coast.
Yeah, not that guy.
Right.
So all of that to say, we've got all sorts of possibilities with the draft. What does that do for your draft thought process if you sign a defensive end like that? How does that change it?
So you would already have Ezeraku. You would then sign a blue chipper. I'm assuming as part of that Clowney would be involved, like retaining Clowney would be potentially another thing here. Or, you've got James Houston, whatever else. You need 4 basically pass rushers, rotational pass rushers.
Yeah.
And so adding a blue chipper there, I think immediately shoots edge rusher out of the first round for me. Like I don't think I'm pressing for a Mesidor at that point from Miami or Falk at Auburn. I'm not. There's so many things that need to be filled here, And if I want to try to make my team better next year, it's like, all right, well, then I've put some resources into edge rusher now. Whether it be re-signing Clowney, signing somebody from the outside who's a blue chipper, spending a second-round pick on Donovan Ezeraku last year. Resources are there, and I know I can rush from the interior. So let's start looking at other things. If you don't get a blue chipper in free agency, then I think you are looking at you might have to throw resources in the first round at edge.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of wiggle room for you at 12. It kind of opens up at 20. So if Ruben Bain get caught with coke in his trunk and he fall to 12, and I got a blue chipper, Donovan Ezeraku, Jadeveon Clowney, nothing's stopping me from drafting Ruben Bain. You see what I'm saying? He'll just be my fourth guy. You know what I mean? Like if like at 12 overall, however the board goes, downs is going, your corners are going, and the best dude is just happens to be a pass rusher, but I feel like I've taken care of pass rusher, I'm still going to get that guy. Now, you are correct. When I get to 20, I'm not looking at Howard Messador, Height, and all those guys. I'm going to go look somewhere else. But I think like at 12, even if you go super at corner, if the best player at corner is 12, it'll make sense to get that guy, or safety, or linebacker or whatever, depending on how 12 goes, because we're at the back end of the first round at that point. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, it also depends, for me anyway, it depends on who it is that's falling to 12 at that point.
Sure.
If Bain falls, I'm
coke in his trunk. That's what I'm saying. That's the only.
But even if he fell with coke in his trunk, I'm still picking something else at that point. Like, if it's Bailey, sure. If it's Reese, sure.
Because you don't like Bain at 12, or
I like Bain fine. I don't like Bain enough to then sink resources if I've signed a big-time edge rusher in free agency. I don't like him enough to just say, well, like that's not Lamb staring you in the face with the receiver group that you have, to me anyway. Not Bain. I like him as a first-rounder. I would not like him as just, well, I got to override all my needs because he's just that good. Bailey, I would. Reese, I would.
So in that scenario, if it's Bain, Colton Hood, and some player on offense, it wouldn't be Bain for you?
I would assume that either at that point I'm using 12 as capital to pick up extra picks.
Yep.
Okay.
And move down to 18 or something, and then I'm picking at 18 and 20, and I've got something in the second round.
But I sure would hope, boy, that they answer the phone. You know,
Because that would be a wipeout scenario preceded by already filling a need.
I mean, depending on who else fell. Yeah. Because I mean, we could say that Hood, like you say, Hood, Bain, and then somebody on offense.
Yeah.
Sure, that could be what you're staring at. But I mean, there could still be somebody else there that has fallen, like Delane could be there, and not necessarily that he would be. But yeah, you don't know. You're waiting around for things to fall. I would be looking to Minnesota. You've got 2 third-round picks that total up to the jump, basically from 18 to 12. You want to turn over 2 third-round picks to get up here to 12 to pick somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, I would be calling about that sort of thing. That's what I'd be trying to do.
I don't know if I'm alone on this, but if they get a blue chip DN in free agency and Bain is staring you in the face, I'm sprinting to the podium. I don't.
He's just going to be my fourth best rusher.
Because you love Bain that much, right?
Well, that, and I don't think you can ever have enough depth at pass rush at defensive end. I understand your point. I'm not saying I don't understand your point of, okay, we need to allocate resources everywhere because our defense as a whole is not great. But it wouldn't alleviate so much of the back half of your defenses if you get home on the quarterback. If they have guys where you feel like they're going to be a top 10, top 16, whatever unit in getting after the quarterback, pressuring the quarterback, getting the quarterback on the ground, I'm okay with that because I know that it's going to make everybody else in the back's job easier. Does that mean you don't need to make the necessary moves to fill those spots? No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you have depth there, and if you have the 3 guys that you have at defensive tackle, and you get 4 plus to high-end pass rushers or defensive ends, I think you're off to a great start in turning things around.
Yeah, the only thing I would say there is you can have all the pass rush in the world you want, generating all the pressure you want. If Kyrie Elam's not standing where Kyrie Elam's supposed to be, they're still hitting a touchdown. You know what I mean? And so that's why, to me,
you have to weigh the pluses and minuses. But I think there is so much more benefit to have from having a deep pass rush arsenal and a deep defensive line arsenal. To where if you have that opportunity, I think you absolutely need to take it.
So I think across the board, you guys agree in the fact that if you sign a blue chip defensive end, the short list of names that could be a worthwhile pick at 12 or 20 trims down significantly.
You take people.
It's 1 or 2 names for you. It might be 3 names for Tommy. It might be 3 names for Voch or whatever it might be.
It takes people out of consideration instantly.
Yeah.
Like there are certain people who are exceptions who would slide down, but maybe somebody who you're like, right now in this present moment, I'm comfortable taking him at 20.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got a blue chipper now it's like, well, I don't need to take him at 20, so he's just out. That's not part of my consideration anymore.
20 for sure.
Interesting.
But 12, if you got 12 first round grades, you drafted 12th overall, like those guys aren't going to be there. Now if the Joneses and company has filled this roster to a ridiculous fashion. I
feel like that's going to be the caveat to anything.
Of course. I'll take Mawanoa. I'll take the tackle from Miami. I'll take the running back from
Top
Notre Dame.
player on the board.
We can party.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like the Jones is going to go that crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if it's me, I'm trying to get one of those 7 defenders that I one of those guys. And even if you draft some blue chip dude, I said I combine blue chip and ship. Blue chip dude.
Yeah, like a Smurf ship.
I ain't cuss. If you sign some disgruntled pass rush from the West Coast, I got a disgruntled pass rush from the West Coast and Ruben Bain and Jadeveon Clowney.
Make it happen.
Load it up. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Yeah. All right. Second scenario. How about this? You move on from Terrence Steele. Moving on from Terrence Steele at right tackle.
Yep.
How does that change your draft philosophy?
I got a fast answer. Can I go?
Please.
Nothing changes.
Nothing at all.
I'll just roll with Nate Thomas at right tackle, and I'll just move on with my life.
Interesting.
You're
not going to move Guyton to right tackle?
Guyton played more left tackle and better at left tackle than I've ever seen him play right tackle. I just don't consider O-line the emergency like defense is. I think defense is a stupid emergency. Mm-hmm. But you've had the number 1 offense in the league with Terrence Steele playing right tackle for you, and or Nate Thomas playing sometimes for you. I like the idea that your center and your guards are strong as hell to keep the front of the pocket clean. I think Ford is fantastic dealing with nonsense on the edges. We've dealt with that. I just feel like if I had to pick where I want to be real good at, put those in defense right now. And it's just not tackle for me. It's just not, like if we had 20 or something, hey, man, Caden Proctor's around, the tackle from Alabama. Could he be a tackle for you? Nah, man, because I need corner, linebacker, safety, and edge. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So nothing changed for me.
Tommy, I feel like you flinched a little bit whenever he said that.
I think it makes, and I know people are going to get upset at this, but I think it makes first-round offensive tackle more of a possibility.
I would agree.
I think you have 2 guys that I would like at 12 or 20 in Maui Noah from Miami and Spencer Fano from Utah that I would be okay with at one of those picks. I understand that the defense is a glaring need. Trust me, I get that. I had to watch all 17 games last year just like everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at, if you want to keep this offense chugging and keep them moving at the pace they've been, you at least need somebody to help at your tackle position, because if you let go of Steele, what we know about Steele, hard fact is that he can help you in the run game.
Yep.
He and Tyler Booker played very well together in the run game. If you lose that, then you have a big question. Is Nate Thomas going to pair with Tyler Booker like he did? Is anybody, if you move Guyton over there, is that going to work like it did? So much of this offense was predicated on the success that Javonte Williams had this year. If you have a question there, that could change a lot of things. Is it going to throw the entire thing off kilter? Is it going to be the 32nd best offense in the league? No, not necessarily.
Yeah. But
it definitely changes things if you have 2 big question marks at tackle. And I think a guy like Maui Noah, who is unbelievable, and I think he's incredibly powerful. He's quick. He's going to be great in the run game. He and Tyler Booker with some peanut butter, as Voch would say,
thank you, sir,
under their skin would be a lot of fun. But it makes it more of a possibility. It would still be difficult, I think, to pull the trigger on that scenario because the defense is what it is. But I think it makes it more of a possibility.
I think if you're telling me you're moving on from Terrence Steele, offensive line becomes, that position to me becomes just as important as the problems you have on defense.
I completely agree.
And so to me, if you're at that point, it would have to be, okay, well, did you do something about it in free agency?
Yeah.
Did you find somebody that maybe Clayton Adams or somebody else would be familiar with to fill that role that might be out there? And if you didn't, now I'm talking about, well, you've got to do that in the first round. Yeah. I'm almost talking about you have to do it in the first round at that point, because I think it sends so much turmoil into the offense and keeping Dak healthy that to me it shoots way up the board at that point. And so if you were to move on, that's one of the reasons why I don't think they can move on from Steele, even if they wanted to financially. I don't think it makes roster building sense this year.
If they were going to do it, I doubt they would do it without a plan.
Sure.
And so if they're going to move on from Terrence Steele, there's going to be some level of contingency plan in place, whether that is moving Tyler Guyton to right tackle or just addressing defense so heavily in free agency that they can get to that point in the first round and say, let's take our favorite tackle whenever they come up at 12 or 20 and figure it out. Because I'm right there with you. If there's no Terrence Steele, and we talked about this heavily on whether or not we would move on from Terrence Steele on Talking Cowboys this morning, but if you move on from Terrence Steele, then you got to have some level of acquisition because you're not riding with Nate Thomas. You're not riding with Tyler Guyton, especially with the availability. I think Nate Thomas is a serviceable tackle, but is he going to be the future tackle or somebody that you feel comfortable building around on the offensive line?
You're not just rearranging chairs.
No,
if you let Steele go.
There's no way. There's going to be some level of acquisition, whether that's a first-round pick again or they're going to go and sign somebody in free agency. So I think the first scenario where they sign a blue-chip defensive end and the second scenario of letting Terrence Steele walk could go hand in hand. They could end up being together at some point in time, which means when we get to draft day, they've got, one or two significantly better defensive pieces that they've added through free agency to the point where when we get to the first round, we get to 12, and when we get to 20, we can look at it and say, maybe we should take one of these offensive tackles because they're the best player on the board, and it's going to ultimately help our team for the future. So then you've got 4 guys up front that you feel really confident in moving forward, and we'll see what happens after that.
There's no bigger O-line guy than me.
I know you are. Yeah, you're a big offensive line
if
guy.
we draft right tackle, I'll draft him with a smile. But I've seen Dak Prescott play really well with Cam Fleming, Cam Irvin, Chuma Doga, Ty Nsekhe. Like, I've seen bad tackle play here, and it kind of work out. I think defense.
You've also seen Dak hurt consistently.
The game gonna be the game. The game gonna be the game.
The game is the game, but I would
think,
rather take chances on protecting him.
So how about
than
this?
letting it happen.
Let's get a good defense so we can whoop teams early, and Dak ain't got to play 4 quarters. That's
I'm
how you
cool with
save
that too.
That's how you save that.
I'm good either way.
Real talk.
All right. What about this scenario?
Yes, sir.
Javonte Williams signs elsewhere in free agency. He does not return to the Dallas Cowboys, and now you have a question mark at running back.
Does not change the first round for me. It changes day 3.
Consistently?
Yeah, if Javonte Williams is going to be gone, I'm now looking at sort of the same area I was at last year. Okay, well, let me look for some value free agents, and let me also look for a day 3 option. But right now, as it stands now, I don't need to draft a running back
For sure.
at all. If they let Javonte Williams walk, it now complicates what I'm looking at on day 3, I think.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident you could find a day 3 running back in this class? That, not to replace Javonte, because that would be unfair expectations for whoever that might be.
Man, see, and they've got such a tough track record in the last few drafts of saying, we'll get it on day 3.
Yep.
And then
Getting wiped out before it.
getting wiped out or having to go a little early because of that. You may be looking at a similar situation there where you're just having to take somebody a little earlier. But I would imagine if they were to lose Javonte Williams, I would bet a veteran gets signed and somebody else gets drafted.
Let me ask you this. Let's say they do make some moves in defense or on the defense, and then Javonte Williams walks. Does that increase the possibility of trading back and picking up top 100 selections, whether that's at 12 or 20 or whatever you want to use for that, to try and get back in the second round and the third round to possibly draft a running back that you see either as falling or that you like and you want to go and get him? Does that make it more of a possibility?
If I could force a team to give me picks, we'll do it. We'll do it every time if I could force a team to give me some picks. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know how attractive my picks are to other teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try not to even think about trade downs for real. But sure, if we had some more picks. Honestly, just looking at the running back class or whatever, man, you could probably get away with some day 3 guys. And the Cowboys probably got confidence that they can find some dude off the street or some undrafted Rico Dowdle type and be like, hey, this is going to be the guy that we roll with and we'll be fine with scheme and offensive line. You know what I'm saying? So they'll probably just re-sign Rico or something and draft a dude, run with blue.
I think you can find a guy in free agency. I think the success that they had this year with Javonte Williams is going to give them the confidence to say if we lose him, we can find our next Javonte Williams of sorts in a guy.
They've done it for a decade.
Yeah, and they can plug and play, and you can move that. Same thing. Really, I think you could say the same thing for if they move on from Steele. What's to say that they don't go into free agency because they're like, hey, we need to use these first round picks on defense.
That's part of the plan.
And they go get a guy. Yeah. Is it more difficult to find an offensive lineman in free agency?
You're spending though. If you're going to free agency for a tackle, you're going to spend.
You're going to spend unless
on the table.
Yeah, unless you want somebody that's not as high caliber, but nonetheless, I think that for a running back specifically, I think that's what they would probably do.
And then the final scenario, the least likely, I think, of the four, but still likely, or not likely, let's say it's still
on the
possible,
table.
still possible, is the trade of George Pickens. We talked about this nightmare scenario a couple shows back, but if they do tag and trade Pickens into a second-round pick or whatever it may be, it sounds like that's what the league would value Pickens at. Would that be the value that you would use to turn into what, Bobby?
So see, that's the biggest one to me, is because everybody who's talked about the scenario has then said, well, then you have to draft a receiver. And I'm saying no. If I'm making that decision, and you're not moving on from Pickens other than just you're looking at resources, and you're saying, I've got to turn I like him, but I got to get resources for other things.
Yeah.
At that point, to me, I'm only making that move because I'm so thin on defense. I need resources to throw it in. So if I'm making that move to go get that extra pick, I'm not. A lot of people I've seen have said, "Well, then you're taking a receiver in the first round." I said, "Nope, no, I'm making that move because I need to go get. I need more defenders in the top 100."
And you're probably confident that you can either sign somebody in free agency,
sign somebody to go along with Flanoy
and CD.
Yeah,
and hope that the step that Flanoy took last year was enough to kind of catapult
that would be, if they were to make that sort of a move, that is also a vote of confidence in what they saw in Flanoy.
Yeah.
Voch doesn't like that move at all.
Just sign Pickens, dog.
I'm good with it too. Yeah.
Draft show veteran Jeff Kavanaugh, shouts out to him. He said something 8 years ago that just stuck with me. He said, "Don't get worse on purpose." Just don't get worse on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So in your mind, if you go, all right, we can move on from Pickens and draft whoever, dog, that's good.
Are you getting worse on purpose though?
I feel
you're downgrading a position group, but if you're saying it gives me more resources to throw at defense and I'm getting better on defense, that may be my team is better.
See, I'm in Cowboy land right now. So if you don't give me Pickens, you got to guarantee me a top 5 defense. I don't think Dow's gonna do that. I just don't think that they're going to take that money and do right by it. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I just feel more hey, Voch, would you rather Pickens in this defense or no Pickens and da-da-da-da? Man, I don't even want to. I just sign the guy. Re-sign him so we can move on to bigger and better things, please.
I too am of the opinion that you re-sign George Pickens. The thing that I continue to think about, and kind of similar to Bobby's point, is does this team look at this situation and say, we have a whole lot of money invested in the offense, and we do not have a lot of money invested in the defense. And do we need to balance that out more to give ourselves a chance? Again, be very clear. I'm in favor of bringing back George Pickens.
Me too.
I could see a world where they say, look, we need more balance here. If we can move that, get some draft capital, whether it be a second round pick, whatever round pick you want to make it, and continue to build this defense up and use the draft like this to really try and hit on these guys consecutively to where you can build this unit up and add the necessary free agents. I think that you have guys in place, and CeeDee Lamb especially.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget how good CeeDee Lamb is. This is a really good player. And, Ryan Flanoy took a big step this year. Does that mean he's wide receiver 2 automatically? I don't know. I would like to see a little bit more before we just start throwing that label around. Can you get a guy in free agency? Maybe. Can you get a guy in third round of the draft if you get a third round pick? Maybe. If you move on from Pickens, you're not going to get another Pickens, I don't think. I think that's very safe to say.
You can't
but
expect that.
Are you confident that this offense can still be good without him would be the question that I would pose. But again, I'm still in favor.
I would also say that the Pickens they got, I don't know if they thought they were getting that Pickens either.
If they thought that, they would have traded a whole lot more than what they did.
Like I think they thought they were getting a player with upside and a player that they liked. I don't think they had any clue he was going to break out the way he did.
Yeah.
There's all 4 of those are possible, those 4 scenarios. If you had to choose one that you feel like is the most likely scenario, which one would it be? Out of the four, either drafting a blue or signing a blue chip defensive end, trading George Pickens, Javonte Williams walking, or Dallas letting go of Terrence Steele.
The running back may be more likely, but they talking these people now. So I mean, unless they playing hardball with them, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the running back is the easiest to kind of deal with if you lose them.
Yeah.
So I would say running back.
You said likely. Okay.
Likeliest of those happening. I don't think they're going to lose Javonte Williams. They could.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to move Pickens. I can't believe they're going to willingly create a hole at right tackle. So to me, it would be signing the blue chipper because I do think they're going to sign somebody.
I think I'm kind of right there with you.
Most likely
out of those four. If it's a multiple choice test.
I think least likely is signing the top tier pass rush guy. Like
Really? So you're saying that's the least likely?
Oh, I think
blue chipper, like a top 5 guy in the league.
available free agents that are out there.
Please.
I think if you're I can't name who they are, but I'm just saying if you were to look at these are the 5 top edge rushers in free agency, I think they're coming away with.
So one of the top. Okay.
Yeah, one of the top 5 available in free agency.
Yeah, you're not going to go and get a guy that's under contract and trade for a guy.
When I'm thinking when I'm thinking blue chipper, like a dude that broke the sack record or something, or a dude that's mad as hell somewhere, or one of those type guys, or some guy that just left here. Like when I think blue chip, but one of the better pass rushers in
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
There's still people who maybe check both boxes.
Maybe. But ultimately a top available edge rusher.
yeah, man. Yeah, we get one. Yeah, that's likely. Yeah, okay.
I would be caught between that or moving on from Steele.
Okay.
Leaning more towards moving on from Steele.
I think that is the least desirable of all the 4 options.
Desirable is a different story.
I know, but desirable, that's the least desirable to me.
Even less than
you would
George
want the
Pickens?
least? Yeah. Go ahead.
What?
Even less than George Pickens?
Yes.
Wow.
And Pickens, I that's not a desirable one. I'm saying all the things they have going on to willingly create an offensive line hole in the name of $8 million or whatever it is, I would be stunned if they did that.
It's interesting. All right. When we come back, we're going to answer your questions. Twitter on the 20. We put the tweet out there just a couple minutes ago. Go and reply to it with your NFL draft questions. More of the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite right after this.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
How about them Cowboys? And how about them Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls? Keep your game day celebrations going with real eggs, potatoes, cheese, and our savory Jimmy Dean sausage. And with 22 grams of protein per serving, you'll have enough energy to power you from early morning to the final whistle. The no-hassle, ready-in-minutes prep makes it easy. Just heat, eat, and cheer on those Cowboys. Get yours today. Jimmy Dean brand is proud to be the official protein of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
Welcome back to the Draft Show presented by Miller Lite. Auditions for the 2026 Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders open March 13th. Don't miss your chance to audition for America's Sweethearts. Learn more at DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/auditions. Back here with Voch Lombardi, Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarrish. I'm Kyle Youmans. Time now for some
Twitter on the 20.
On the 20. All right, gentlemen. This one was a question that we talked about in the office today, so I'm interested to see what you guys think here.
What's up, office?
Today, this is from Talking Dak.
Talking Dak.
That's what the name of the Twitter is. Today, Daniel Jeremiah had the Cowboys potentially trading the 20th pick for a guy. We're just going to say since Daniel Jeremiah reported it, we're not talking like tampering or anything here.
Yeah.
It's off of a report. It's off of an article. Trent McDuffie would be the trade target, and then the Cowboys would take Jermon McCoy out of Tennessee at 12. So they're attacking the secondary with 2 selections there. Let's just say, let's take McDuffie's name out of it.
Yeah.
Let's say you trade for a
Generic veteran corner.
a blue chip veteran at that position, and then you turn around and you take Jermon McCoy at 12 as well. How do you feel like double dipping in the cornerback draft? At cornerback in the draft, would you rather have positions of need instead of double dipping with both of your first 2 picks at corner?
When Stephen Jones came out and said our core players are the tackles, the 1 linebacker, and the 2 corners, what does that mean to y'all? Like, does that mean we not looking at corner? We looking at 1 more corner? We looking to revamp the whole cornerback room? Because adding 2 premium corners to what Stephen Jones would say, and I believe when he says it, adding 2 premium corners to what your core is, with your core corners, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I'd feel about 4 corners, and I ain't got no linebackers or safeties. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wouldn't know how to feel. You know, when I got a whole bunch of more needs and doubling down on something. You know what I mean? So I would
assume at that point linebacker and safety are free agent targets.
Yeah. You'd have to, right?
But
what would that tell you about?
It's a lot. You just gave Bland an extension. You used a 3rd on Revel, and then you're to do that's a lot of resources.
And that would tell me they aren't confident in either one of those guys.
Yes.
If they're going to spend 2 first-round picks at the same position, that means they are worried about Bland and they are worried about Revel.
I think we've talked about this. I think last year when they were looking at hiring Connor Riley, when they were looking at hiring Clayton Adams, I think a big part of it was, hey, Terrence Steele's here right now. Okay? We're not doing anything about that. Just financially, it's another thing. What are you going to do to make it better? Yeah. How are you going to make it better? What's your plan to make it better? And somebody would have an advantage when they had a roadmap to make that better.
Yeah.
Make Terrence Steele play better. I think similarly, Jerry could not talk about Savone Revel enough throughout the regular season before he got there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think when they talked to Christian Parker and when they talked to anybody else, I think one of the things that came up was, what are you going to do about Revel? What are you going to do to make Revel better?
Yeah.
How are you going to make him tap into this? Because he's here. We've sunk resources into him. It's early. That needs to work. So
we saw a first-round corner before the injury, that kind of thing.
So, man, I would be pretty stunned. I guess it's not impossible, but I'd be pretty stunned if they were to trade the 20th for a veteran corner and then draft one, especially one who has not played in the last calendar year or 2, to draft him at 12 and McCoy.
Yeah.
Who is getting after the quarterback? Is it us? Are we going to play defensive end?
I'm not playing.
You can scheme up pass rush.
How'd that work last year?
Winning and Kenny and Osa was good.
Yeah, they were great.
They don't play defensive.
Unfortunately, there's 5 offensive linemen. No, I wouldn't be a fan of that. I think they're sky high on Revel, and I think he's going to be a really good player too if he ever gets that brace off, which I pray that he does. I would understand 1 corner in the first round, or you use your capital to trade for another corner. I would get that if you could get a proven guy that you know is going to help the secondary and kind of be the core piece of it.
Yeah.
But 2, I think you have too much that you need on defense.
Can I ask y'all a question? Mm-hmm. Twitter on the 20 Voch. Okay, so with the way that the league is moving with these big nickel safety guys, Christian Parker may be leaning in that direction as well. Do you think this team needs more corners or more safeties?
This team, I think,
yes.
If you tell me yes, they need everything. Mm-hmm. If you tell me I can get an elite player at one position and where I think it makes the most difference for this defense, I think it's safety.
If you're a nickel guy,
if you get me a Caleb Downs or you get me somebody to do
right.
And I can mention somebody for what they do for another team, right? Not acquiring them.
Yeah.
If you get somebody to do what Cooper DeJean does and did for Christian Parker, that changes the entire. Listen to how much Shoddy could not stop talking about leading up to the Chargers game, how valuable Derwin James was, and what he did for them, and the way Nate Newton has always argued for Darren Woodson to be in the Hall of Fame. The line of we didn't have sub packages, we had Darren Woodson.
Yeah,
Darren was the sub package. He would change what we would do on defense. There's tremendous value in finding a really versatile safety.
If I'm listening to the COO of the Dallas Cowboys and he talks about the core, Brother Steve and them, and he mentions 2 corners, but he don't mention no safeties, I think it'll make sense to be like, all right, you're probably going to need 2 of your high safeties and one of your nickel type versatile dudes, like Bobby was talking about, one of them type cats or whatever. I think that they're more likely to tool up at safety than corner for real, because they've mentioned that they got corners. In their mind, they got corners.
This question is specifically for our guy, Tommy Yarrish.
Me?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
Tommy, why do you put ketchup on your hot dog?
I'm just going to leave then if y'all going to
I'm never eating around Bobby again.
Morgan wants to know.
What's up, Morgan?
Said, new Texas Longhorn fan here. Brand new. Just
Welcome.
got the T-shirt. Question for Tommy. Who is a Longhorn that you'd like to see the Cowboys draft this year?
I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of them.
I'm just going to watch the Olympics while you answer that question.
Not a.
You don't want to talk about the Texas Longhorn?
No, they asked for time. I'm just going to watch the Olympics while he answers.
What sport are you watching over here?
Sliding down ice.
Okay.
And shooting.
It's pretty much all of. Okay, that's a little different. But the first
my
part
favorite
was pretty much
sport.
the whole Olympics.
Sliding ice and shooting.
Yep.
Well, go ahead, Tom, please.
I think a guy that could make sense for them is Anthony Hill, the linebacker from Texas, 6'3", 238. You're going to get a guy who is an incredible athlete. I remember covering him at Denton Ryan High School, and he was playing running back at some point. I think the first play I ever saw him was a 70-yard touchdown where he lined up as the Wildcat quarterback and just took it the distance. I think he moves really well north and south. He's got good nose for diagnosing things in the run game, usually in the right spot at the right time. But there are certain flashes in his tape where you do kind of wonder, like, okay, do we feel like it's all there in terms of seeing what's in front of him? I think you see it's just kind of a mixed bag. Maybe I shouldn't say good nose, but it's a mixed bag at times. But he is the athlete that can be able to step up and play in the run game well. Really effective as a blitzer. Got 17 career sacks, knack for getting the ball out, 8 forced fumbles, 3 picks in his career. I wouldn't say he's good in coverage, especially against those quicker players over the middle. But I think he's got the right measurables for the position, and I think he is a player that is going to be better than what you have currently in your room.
All right, same question, but for 2027 from me. Go.
Colin Simmons.
Oh yeah, God.
Oh my goodness.
I figured that would be easy.
Yeah, that's way too.
Either him or Arch Manning, who
Arch
No,
Manning,
Colin. It's Colin.
Trevor Gooseby. Yeah, but no,
I'm
Colin.
just
Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons is
different.
That's a slam dunk.
Yeah. Is it possible he goes top 5 next year?
Absolutely.
Like top 3?
Yes.
It's possible. Yeah, I mean he's going to
He could be.
I mean, gosh,
well,
hold on.
actually, top 3 because you got Smith.
Next year's going to have a lot of really big time,
Yeah.
big edge rushers, quarterbacks like big time positions. So I know, but I mean he's 100. If he was in this draft, he'd be
Top 3.
Yeah.
He'd probably be 2 behind
Yeah,
Mendoza.
he would be 2.
Yeah, he'd be right there.
Who that is?
Colin Simmons, edge rusher from Texas. Watch him. He's really
I
good.
only focus on one draft at a time, but I got you, though.
Dude, if you watch a Texas defensive tape, period.
Yeah, if you're
Just
watching
tape.
if you're watching offensive line tape on somebody going up against Texas, you'll notice Colin Simmons.
Yeah, he's nasty. All right. Andrew wants to know, are we overthinking Delane? Of course, Mansour Delane, LSU corner, seems like a fine prospect in the draft of maybes, like in a draft of maybes, and at a position of need, the cornerback spot. Are Cowboys fans, not us in general, but are Cowboys fans overthinking Mansour Delane out of LSU?
Teams suck at drafting. I think fans got this dude right, just like the fans normally.
And what would that be?
I don't care that he's 5'11", and
I think teams have him right too.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they probably love him too.
Yeah, I think the league does really like Mansour Delane.
I have heard some people go, well, the measurables. Can he play? You know what I'm saying? And I think most qualified people, because I don't listen to a bunch of people that just be saying nonsense. Most people that I've heard are pretty high on Monsieur Delane. Now, if you want to make an argument that we're delusional thinking that he'll fall to 12 because he's clearly a top 5 type guy, then that's a conversation for you. But I don't think he'll be there at 12 for.
You think he's a top 5 guy?
Like goes top 5?
Yeah, he'll like drafted top 5 different. I don't know. I don't know.
You think he's a top 5 player in this draft?
I think he could be drafted top 5 because he's a corner or the best corner. He might end up being like the 8th, 7 or 8 or something.
He might be one of the 5 most. I don't know that I'd say like he's a top 5 talent or anything. He might be one of the 5 most consistent players that we're talking about in the first round. Like you feel like, hey, I know what he is. And I know what he can do. The biggest problem with him, obviously, is there are going to be questions in general about some of the speed and questions about his size limitations. Yeah. But I mean, he's the tape is really good. He is a really solid cornerback who, to me, I think that and I think the upside is still higher here, but I think there's a lot of Jordan Lewis type of traits there in terms of physical, willing to get involved, can, play inside. I think could probably hang outside just like Jordan could. He just was not asked to do a lot of it. Could hang outside, could play inside, and is willing to do the physicality. But Jordan was 5'10", 190, and ran a 4.5. And it was like, well, that doesn't look like the profile of a corner who's going to stick around very long, but he was able to. So yeah. I think of Delane as a higher upside Jordan Lewis.
I think Delane is a similar thing between those two guys. They're super smart. They're very smart players, and I think it's evident in what you see on film. I thought Delane was the best corner in the country in this draft class. Since we're not talking about other classes, I'll refrain from what I really thought was the best corner in the country. But in this class, I think he's a top 10 player for me. Mm-hmm. He's right at number 10. Just like Bobby said, the tape talked very loudly.
Yeah,
man, he was great. When the ball's in his area, he just does an excellent job of being able to knock it away, limit penalties, gets to the ball quickly, is a willing tackler. I like Delane a lot.
I'm hearing the voice of Brian Broaddus in my head saying that a lot of these players have nicks and warts at the top of the draft. Yep. These guys that you are saying that they're top 10 players, and the more that the guys that don't have warts are going to start to rise to the top, and they're going to start to be there. I'm with you guys. I think he's a top 10 player in this draft. I haven't stacked my board entirely, but I bet you he's going to be 8, 9, 10, something right there at the back end of the top 10, which means for me, if a team's going to take him in the top 5 or 6 picks at that spot in that position, it wouldn't shock me even in the slightest. He's a really good player. Yeah. All right, when we come back, I've got some this or that. How about we're going to attack 2 positions on offense, 2 positions on defense. I'm going to stack a couple guys that I'm even having trouble evaluating in a couple different areas of who to rank higher than who. And I want to get your opinion on where you would see them fall one way or the other. When we return with more of the Draft Show right after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
How about them Cowboys? And how about them Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls? Keep your game day celebrations going with real eggs, potatoes, cheese, and our savory Jimmy Dean sausage. And with 22 grams of protein per serving, you'll have enough energy to power you from early morning to the final whistle. The no-hassle, ready-in-minutes prep makes it easy. Just heat, eat, and cheer on those Cowboys. Get yours today. Jimmy Dean brand is proud to be the official protein of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
This is the DallasCowboys.com Draft Show.
Back here on the Draft Show, Lone Star Smokeout is back in Arlington, April 24th through the 26th. Watch headliners Riley Green, Shabuzi, Cole Wetzel, and more at this 3-day outdoor country music festival. Plus, enjoy barbecue for some of the best pitmasters in the country. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
I'll go to
Tarleton State's Cole Wetzel.
Yeah.
He played football there.
Yes, he did.
I'll go see Shabuzi if any of y'all want to come.
Dude, I would love that. You were going to be busy that weekend.
You'll be busy.
Oh, my bad.
April 24th through the 26th. And while you're out there, you can listen to our wall-to-wall draft coverage because the NFL draft happens that weekend.
Can we get Shabuzi on the draft show?
Dude, I would have a blast. That'd be great. Yeah.
What would you
My wife might have to drive up here. She loves Shabuzi. Like, that's her favorite country artist right now.
I trust that Rocks could run him down.
100%.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, she's
Just go grab the scouts and then just go find
That's
Shabuzi,
what she does. Yeah.
knock it
Just,
out.
like if we said Rocks, can we get Shabuzi? 5 minutes later, she'd have him here.
100%.
Be right here. She just grabbed him. I saw him in the parking lot.
Somehow
Is
he's
he a Commanders fan?
You said what?
I think he may be a Commanders fan.
He's a Commanders fan?
Forget about
He
it.
was in the Commanders booth, I believe, at one of the games.
Interesting.
I think.
Maybe he
got a
was there
shot
for
of
the
him.
Cowboys game. and
But he was
just
in the
liked
owner's
Cowboys.
booth for the Commanders,
Yeah.
so that'd be kind of weird.
Maybe so. Maybe he's a Titans fan because they're in Nashville. All right. Voch Lombardi, Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back, and Kyle Youmans. I've got some this or that, a couple scenarios. These are guys that I have that are right next to each other on my draft board as I'm trying to piece together. They actually, all four of these scenarios have tied grades for me. They are exactly the same grades. So I want you to help me break a tie here with these four. I'm going to start on the offensive tackle spot. Tommy, you mentioned this name earlier. Spencer Fano, Utah offensive tackle. You mentioned him when we were talking about the scenarios in the first segment. Spencer Fano or Jennings Dunker out of Iowa?
Fano from Utah for me.
So you mentioned that, and I expect that because, I mean, he's got a lot of.
Yeah, I think he's one of the first-round players for me. I think he's the more athletic.
Oh, you have a first round?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the more athletic of the two top tackles in this class. You think about Maui Noah, just a straight, physical, run through your face, powerful guy. Yeah. Whereas Fano's got a little bit more athleticism to him for his size, a little bit thinner as well at 302, 6'6". I think he moves well in the run game, but I think he's stronger in pass protection just because he can get that kick out to get out there. Just straight up just didn't give up sacks at Utah. They had a really good offensive line in general. So he's got that slimmer frame, whereas Maui goes more compact and powerful, but I think in the right offense he can be a really good player.
Okay. Voch, what do you think?
I think Dunker's a guard. I think the league probably going to look at him that way. So a day two guard versus Fano, who's probably going to go top 12 or something, I would assume, or top 15 at least. I would put Fano over Dunker.
Okay. Well, if you've evaluated him at guard, he's still
Dunker nice. Yeah, I mean, because he doesn't have the range to fully play tackle, in my opinion. Even though he doesn't have the range, I think he's dealt with his, whether it be Penn State or Ohio State. Like, he's played some dudes and he's dealt with it.
He won a lot of those battles.
He's won those battles.
Got some good tape.
I just think on the next level, they're going to value more of his power and his nastiness and wrestling in a phone booth. Yeah. And if he's cool enough range-wise at tackle, that makes him a semi-athletic guard. So I think he's going to be a guard.
I have them both as like an early second, just to be clearly clear.
Yeah, I think Fano's the better player. I think Dunker will probably end up being the better value where he gets picked.
For sure.
And I agree. I think Dunker's got to go inside. The athleticism to me is just not there. The movement skills just aren't there to play tackle, to keep guys in front of him consistently enough at the next level. And even playing inside a guard, he's probably going to have some issues with some of the quicker three technique pass rushing defensive tackles. But, man, he's, like Voch said, football in a phone booth guy, like using power and leg drive to clear space. I think he's going to be really good there. Fano's a really good athlete, and there's a lot to really like about him. There's definitely, for me, play strength questions with Fano. Sure. I mean, gosh, if Brian were here right now, Brian would be saying, you know me, I can't with these athletic light tackles. I'm always going to be wrong about him. He needs to add bulk. He's got to improve his hand usage in pass protection. And even with the athleticism, he does not have a lot of answers when inside moves hit.
Nope.
And so that's a big problem with him. But, I mean, I think Fano's a good player. I have him in the second. I have Dunker in the third. I think Dunker's going to go closer to where I have him than Fano, so I think Dunker would be the better value.
Interesting. Wide receiver. Widely regarded as the top two wide receivers in this draft. And I think it's a battle between the two, whether you like one thing or the other. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State, or Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. Who do you have higher?
I personally value route runners more. Mm-hmm. I love route runners. I love yak guys, and Jordan Tyson fits that more. Mm-hmm. Tate, it seems like he's more physically imposed, and he's interesting too, because I don't look at Tate as fast guy.
No,
but he got film running past people, which is interesting. But you clearly see Jordan Tyson running past and away from people. So if we're not accounting for guys getting hurt, which I normally don't, Tyson is my number one guy, and Tate is my third. But I got ones on both of them.
Okay.
It's
Who do you have in between? Sorry.
Lemon, because I like route runners and yak guys.
Okay.
It's Tate over Tyson for me.
Okay.
I think he is a pretty savvy route runner. I think he win early. He can beat you at the top of routes, devil moves. No, he's not going to blow past you like you said.
Tate's a savvy route runner?
Yeah, I think so. You disagree?
Yeah, but that's cool.
Why?
No, I want you to fight.
Well, because
that's what this whole segment's for.
I don't think Tate. I'm just looking at. I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at the camera. I don't think Tate does a whole bunch to separate himself within the route process or whatever, right? Tyson does that. Or even if you're like another guy to where I'm not a route runner, but my quickness gets me open because of my route running, Tate's not that guy neither. Tate's more smooth to me, and he's more leverage guy than route running guy. He's more, all right, I'll kind of blah, 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 and I know where I can cut to kind of get open, but I think Tyson does that. Plus, he can run a slant 5 different ways, or he can make, 10 different routes look like 2 routes or something like that. I just think Tyson's a much more superior route runner. Tate can probably run routes in the context of like what a great college football player is, but on the next level, when more route runners come to the party, I would see Tyson as higher on that list as NFL route runners than Tate is.
Okay.
I think Tate
nice though.
Tate to me right now I think is a better route runner. Okay. I would think that Tyson's ceiling is better as a route runner, and I think Tyson is showing gradual improvement, year-over-year improvement as a route runner that makes you comfortable that he's going to end up being a better route runner. So I think when they get to the next level, he very well could be a better route runner than Tate. I think Tate might be better now. That's just how I view it.
And I think, and I don't disagree with either of your points. I think what
you got to disagree.
Well, we disagreed about the route runner. You had to disagree with somebody.
That point, I disagree with that point.
Okay.
But what I'm saying with Tate, what stands out for me is his what's so funny?
Just the way Bobby was like, you have to disagree with somebody.
I mean, yeah, because we disagree. So.
It's okay. We love you. But go ahead.
I think what stands out to him for me is, and not to say that Jordan Tyson can't do this, he's a freak athlete. I think his contested catchability.
That is true. He's a monster.
Is second to none. I think he's fantastic.
He's probably the best in the draft.
Yeah, just going up and getting the ball. I'm still get PTSD from the touchdown catch he had against Texas, where I think it was Michael Taft was just draped all over him. It looked borderline like assault, and he still somehow came down with it. And Ohio State won the game because of it. Definitely still not salty about that. But
you're mad as hell.
Yeah, I'm very mad. But super productive this past year with 9 touchdowns. I like Carnell Tate. I think he's not as productive in terms of pure yards, career trajectory as kind of some of the other Ohio State guys that have been in the past, like a Smith and Jigba or Garrett Wilson. But I think he definitely can be in line to be the next great Ohio State guy in the NFL.
And I think that Tate, if you're looking for like comps to me of like how because I think they're both really good.
Yeah.
Tate to me he's bigger, obviously in terms of taller. The wingspan's better.
Sure.
Reminds me of Calvin Ridley a little bit when Ridley was coming out. Tyson to me could very well be Malik Neighbors. I think Jordan Tyson is really, really good, and it has nothing to do with him being a local guy. But I think that he's really, really fantastic. A lot of the stuff that I have in here, notes about him, about the explosiveness and the tempo changes and the way he manipulates defenders. And I don't even think he's consistently sharp as a route runner yet. And I think as that cleans up and gets better, he's going to unlock something really special.
Allen High School.
That's the sharpness for me is the biggest with him, and the injury concerns in the past too.
Yeah, there's a lot of injury concerns with Jordan Tyson.
So you say sharpness. What you mean by sharpness?
Because I still think that like a lot of the way he wins is the way that he is as an athlete, and
Sure.
so I think that he's going to become a more precise route runner. I don't think he's there yet. As soon as a lot of that precision, because you're seeing if you go watch him year over year, he steadily improved. That's a big thing for me when I watch guys.
Yeah, me too.
If I see steady improvement year over year, and I can go, okay, that's projectable. Tyler Smith was projectable that way. Year over year, you saw it getting better. I think that he's somebody who's scratching the surface. I don't think he's tapped into all of it yet.
Yeah, that dude like sets DBs up and is lovely to watch.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, defensive tackle Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech or Caleb Banks out of Florida.
Oh, that's easy.
I know where Voch is going.
Caleb Banks don't know how to play tackle, so
you're going Lee Hunter.
He's a big athlete, and when the draft come around, they probably got some clip of him shooting a basketball or him jumping over stuff. I hate when they do that in the draft. They show non-football athleticism. Get out of here. But Banks
is a multi-sport athlete.
Bless his heart, but show me the football stuff.
There's a guy that sits in that chair throughout the weeks that do podcasts that was a dual sport athlete.
Who?
Jesse Holly.
There's nothing wrong with being dual sport athlete, but when I'm drafting you, show me your highlights. Don't be like, oh yeah, he dunked a basketball or he chops wood in the daggone woods or something. You know what I mean? Like show me the football stuff. You know what I mean? Quinn Miners, for example, when he got drafted, it was all about his mustache and him chopping wood in the daggone in some cabin somewhere.
That's just pretty.
He made a Pro Bowl.
He's fantastic.
That's TV producers doing TV stuff.
Show me football, dog. But
what about if they showed an offensive lineman like wrestling a bear? That's not football, but would that like have you like, okay, I can?
I'm phony, bud.
That's projectable.
That's hard as hell. Look, I'm phony. I can admit that I'm phony. If Mal Noah's wrestling a bear or something in the sand, they would
projectable.
Then we're making it happen.
Oh, do it.
Put up the clip.
Do it. But Caleb Banks ain't wrestling bears. You know what I'm saying?
That you know of.
He just athletic.
Not with any technique, anyway.
Lee Hunter is a real bear, and he whoops feet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking the dude that knows how to play defense tackle.
Caleb Banks is from Detroit. I don't think he's.
Ain't no bears in Detroit.
Yeah, there's no bears up there.
There's gangsters.
There's some lions, but no bears.
Lee Hunter is. I mean, these are two very different players to me. Lee Hunter is going to be a limited pass rusher, two gapping run guy who he's kind of what you see. What you see is what you get, which is a good player.
Yeah.
But is also probably a two-down player in today's NFL, and that's going to be the limitation. Yep. Caleb Banks is a ton of upside and pass rush ability that feels like it could be there, but you got to unlock it. It's somebody who has all of the, if you were to say, like, get me all of the traits, let me build a defensive tackle physically the way it's supposed to look, Caleb Banks would have a ton of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Caleb Banks does not look like he knows what he's doing on a football field with those traits all the time. So how teachable is he? How much can you tap into that? I think that in an era of you want to know with as much certainty as you can who you're getting, Lee Hunter would be above Banks for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, I can do it that time, right?
Yeah, see?
But that Hunter is the more like plug and play. You know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get a big one tech who's just going to take a double team and help you in the run game. He will not be able to rush the passer whatsoever, but he's just going to plug things up for you. Banks, man, I like him a lot because of the athletic stuff, but he's going to have to go to the right place and get developed correctly.
Yeah. Last one before we say goodbye. Sure. Safety. Kamari Ramsey out of USC or AJ Halsey out of LSU?
This is literally going to come down to preferences. Mm-hmm. I think Ramsey is going to play he's probably more versatile. I think Halsey gets to the football more. Like, I love how he gets to the football. And he's big as hell for some reason. I don't know. And I don't know how fast he is neither. But he just finds a way to get to the football. Ramsey's a guy that's probably going to play nickel for you. Some box safety. He could play up on the roof. Sometimes just out the foot's up on the roof sometimes. I got Halsey because I like how smart he is and how he gets to the football. Like, he gets over there. But I can see both being great. It just depends on what you like and what you're looking for.
His 40 projection off of the first website I looked at would be a 4.55.
Halsey,
yeah.
That'd be nice for him.
Yeah.
Which I have not done like full study on Ramsey yet. So Halsey I've watched. He reminds me of Tyler Nubin. That's who I saw when I watched him play, which is a fine player, but I also think is a safety with some limitations, and probably has some very scheme specific or role specific ways that you can use him. He's not going to be your modern hybrid safety nickel that you don't ever have to take him off the field. He's going to play 100% of the snaps. He's going to be able to contribute in the run. He can play the nickel. He can play deep middle. Like, you can have him do all these things. To me, it's very much more a channeled skill set, which he's good at, and would be a solid player. But I think that to me is a strong safety, is Halsey.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Halsey's a better player. I just think he's a dog. This past year at LSU, obviously he was incredible. The ball production was there. Yep. But even before at Houston, I think he's doing a lot of the same things. So give me Halsey. I think Ramsey, I might need to watch Ramsey again because I wasn't wowed the first time. It looked like he was a step slow. Maybe my eyes were just bad at that point. But I think Ramsey can give you more in terms of you can see him in other places. But overall, I like Halsey better.
Yeah. It's funny, you and I were in the DFW airport getting delayed 9 hours on our way to the Senior Bowl when I was watching Amari Ramsey. And I remember looking at him and being like, man, I like it. It's not perfect yet. Like, there's not a whole lot of, like you said, the speed and the elements there. He's got all that. But there are a couple times where Halsey gets to the ball quicker, but he's not as fast as Ramsey. So is that just a recognition thing? Is it a scheme thing? Is it the fact that Ramsey also benefited from having another really good safety playing?
Yeah, Bishop Fitzgerald's a good player.
It's a good player. So he had a benefit there. Yeah. So maybe that played a factor into it all. I think there's a lot of conversations that are going to be had around those two guys on which safety is the right fit for whatever team is there drafting a safety.
Who's your four real fast? Like, if you had to lean one way, who's your four?
In top four of safeties?
No. Your four guys that you this or that we did and you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd probably go Fano over Dunker. Mm-hmm. I would go Tyson over Tate.
Okay.
Hunter over Banks. And I would right now put Ramsey over Halsey because I like the upside.
That ain't bad.
However, I'm okay with Halsey one way or the other. I don't have a solidified. These are all guys, like I said, actual touching tags on my board right now that I wanted to get your opinions and clarify a little bit. That's part of the draft community, too, is starting to pick up what other people are seeing and see what you think and compare it to your notes and things like that. So I thought this was a fun segment. We'll probably do this again.
No doubt.
Appreciate you guys as always. Between now and Thursday, Voch is going to watch tape of Tristan Wirfs jumping out of a pool as much as possible.
Khabib wrestling a bear.
Yeah, all sorts of great things that we've seen from the NFL draft outside of football. It's what it's about, guys. It's what it's about.
I want to see Mal wrestle a bear now. Go ahead.
All right. Maybe we can make that a part of the Combine week. We'll be back on Thursday. We are going to preview the NFL Combine and continue to look ahead to what we're going to see next week. For Voch Lombardi, Bobby Belt, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from the Draft Show. We'll see you see you on Thursday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!